Elizabeth, it's John Mukai. I thought I'd try to narrate a very brief PowerPoint to get across what it is I'm struggling with, and maybe it's so simple it's boring. I just wanted to get your feeling about rotational ergonomics and what we're doing and where we might go with it. So I've laid this out. I'm trying to master rotational ergonomics in a cockpit situation. And sorry for the spelling. I just did this right now. There are 4 DICOM monitors in portrait, 30-inch monitors, and that allows you to put a 2x2 display of a whole time point. For example, it's an axial image plus an axial other window plus a coronal and sagittal, all on a 30-inch large monitor, such that you can see the entire time point. So if you have 4 monitors, you'll see 4 time points. And if you register them, they all surf together. So in reality, you can cover 4 time point review seamlessly by just rolling the mouse wheel, and everything hops too. The requirement is a rotational chair to deal with the motion in 180 degrees without moving your head. And I think that's something that's very important, which will allow this, and this will allow more coverage. And in fact, this 180-degree array is a mock-up of what would happen in the virtual space, and we're getting virtual headset. We have one by Sievert, and we're going to study that. And so that's sort of a follow-up question at the end. We thought that 30-inch portrait, at least it's working for us, and we can get up to 6 monitors. Granted, you have to finesse it. We've done a survey, and people seem to be interested and willing to accept it. We do notice that the 20 to 40-inch range is helpful in that at 40 inches, you can look at a big image, and at 20 inches, the 2x2 display is about the same size as the larger image from further away. People don't feel fatigued as much. I'm not sure why that is. And there is, of course, a neutral extraocular motion position if you're at your neutral gaze. So maybe that's it. We came across these dimensions as to what the limit is, so that, for example, a diagonal 67-inch screen is what it comes out to. I've even tried something that big. I have 44-inch monitors in portrait. I have a 65-inch TV in landscape, and those things do seem feasible. Again, I'm interested in pushing the envelope as to size. This is a layout of the barcodes. This is basically what we approximate. And the flesh tone rectangle is the presumed sweet spot, or the maximum area as defined by ergonomics. And I think even in your book, you discuss some of this. I do have some questions about that. So again, we can have 4 of them or 2 of them. The standard currently is sort of one of these 30 inches in landscape, at least in an apartment. So if you use 2 in portrait, you've doubled your real estate. If you use 4, you've doubled it again. This is the problem with the rotation, and again, it's prohibitive with neck turning. But if you can rotate the torso, maybe not. Again, just to make the point, the pursuit of more monitors is limited by the rotation. And so the point of how you turn your head and still work, not rocket science, but Aunt Minnie quoted this from our stream. And my point is, let a chair desk do the turning like Han Solo in Star Wars, and just get a sense of what he's, oops, hold on, I'm sorry about that. A sense of what he's doing here. Notice he's rotating in 360 or XYZ without any change. So we have assorted works in progress, something like this.
From my experience, the advantage,
built this.
The necessity is when we're using a multi-monitor system like this with a wide array, you need to be able to have access, and ergonomically comfortable access, to all of the monitors.
So that's the point there. And then again, these are barcode or equivalent 30-inch monitors. Portrait is standard. These are standard text monitors. It is kind of weird because everybody gets locked down to maybe 1 or 2 squares. realize my squares are much bigger and are a whole time point as opposed to one little square image. There, I would have a 2 by 2. There is a tendency to not use these, but I made the point about a garage. If you have the space, you can store it there and use it and know how to get it quickly. And that's my point about garages. The sweet spot exists only in a small area, but if you look at each one, it's the same sweet spot. That's the issue that I think if we solved would make a difference. I'm going to play this just so you can hear me voicing over what's happening. These are text monitors. There's 2 of them here. And these are Barco 30 inchers, and these are like 44 inch, I think, portrait. But you'll see this is a time point, this is a time point, this is the 2 by 2 display, which is very large to begin with. The standard Barco is probably just this area here. And the point is these can track and link together, or I can have actually 4 of them. But I'll just, so it looks sort of like this.
This is a demonstration of me with a multi-time point review. The 2 monitors are A and B with 4 planes. You'll see me showing and linking each of those 2 together. They move together sequentially. There could have been 4 time points. This is just 2. I'm demonstrating the link function off of the scouts there to my right. You can notice I turn around, but my neck doesn't really turn. And I can get closer if I want to look in detail.
And again, if I'm getting closer, this is a distance from 20 to 40, I can double the size by geometric mag. This thing that I'm surfing around on, a rotational saddle chair, allows me to change the z distance, which is really a big deal. These monitors float in space. There's no table in the way. That's an issue ergonomically to get more real estate, and I'm going to, maybe I make another point.
Again, I've now brought the time points such that one monitor has a new and old exam next.
Okay, so here again, this is now a new and old image. This is a new and old image, a new and old image. For a closer compare of new and old, I can, of course, there's many other ways to skin the cat, so to speak. That's terrible language, but more than one way to do this. And I'm trying to just give you the sense of what's happening in real time. Finally, and the icing on the cake is
him, who is a
this.
trained fellow.
Elliot, in discussion with Sievert, has gotten us this, and I'll try not to run through this too much, but this is a virtual workspace up here, and
Findings in this case, we have a left wrist here with multiple views, very typical views of the left wrist, and we have some.
So anyway, there's some avatars here, but these are huge arrays of space, which are static. So in fact, the question is, there's significant head turning in the first versions of VR. There are rotational ergonomic issues which are similar for virtual reality and any extended array. I'm looking for some very simple thing to study that maybe relates to both, and that would be studying neck rotation in both domains. And the question remains, is there an advantage to extended visual space, and will improvement in the rotational sit-stand method allow covering more ground quickly, particularly for complex multi-time point case review? So this last slide is really what I'm interested in, just getting some sort of some perspective from the deep science point of view, and just see what you think. So this is about under 10 minutes, and I think it's the best way to get some stuff across. I will leave a note in the email as well. Thank you for watching.